Hey everyone, Dr. Frunky here with an awesome new knife consult on a very, very special knife to me. This is the Robert Carter and Elijah Isham Blackfyre. This knife is one of two in existence, and it was a collaborative effort between two of kind of my favorite people in the knife world right now, Rob Carter and Elijah Isham. So while I was at Blade Show, I was fortunate enough to meet both of these guys and hang out with them and get to know them and see what was going on. Here's an example of Rob's work that I just picked up recently. That's a custom tech. And then Elijah let me bring home this We Knives Pleroma. And so it's interesting to see how these two guys' designs have sort of melded into the Blackfyre. You may recognize the Blackfyre in terms of its overall silhouette, as it resembles a couple of other knives. It looks like the We Knives Eschaton, and it looks like the Browse Echelon, and we're going to sort of talk about that a little bit. But this knife came out long before either of those knives were publicly available. This was the first sort of crazy collaboration that Elijah had really pulled off like this with the holes in the blade. He had intended for there to be some holes in the handle, but this is the way that it turned out, and it is epic. The other build also has a Damascus blade, but it has Timascus accents. Great time that I had a great time at Blade Show, and on Saturday night in the pit, this knife and its sister knife showed up, and both of them were there for me to play with. I put a video up on my Instagram of me playing with them, also of Elijah akimbo deploying these guys, and it was just so awesome to experience this. I had seen this knife as it was being produced because I had been following Rob's work for a while because I had that Talon early on. I had the Rob Carter Frank Fisher Talon a while back. Did you see that action on this thing? Unbelievable. And so when I saw that he was making this, I was lusting after it. And I really, really love Mokume. I've been trying to get more of it into my collection so far. I've only been able to get it on this J.D. Van Deventer Gold, which is going to have a video of its own, but this is chock full of Mokume, and it's going to patina and look amazing. This one has been patinating for over a year now, so it's finally gotten to its finished state, and it looks absolutely epic. So what exactly are we looking at here? Let's go ahead and get some vital signs on this guy. As you can tell, it's a big honking knife. And so up front, if I get the measurements right, you're looking at about a 4.1 inch blade with about 4.05 of cutting length right there. Overall length, you're looking at about 9.3 inches. The handle is coming in at about 5.3 inches, and the effective grip area, I suppose you can count up to here, is about 5.25. But if you count just this area back here, you're looking at 4.25. But I do think that works as a forward choil. I'm going to bring out another couple of knives for a size comparison. This shows you how Mongo this knife really is. It's so much bigger than the Paramilitary 2. It's almost useless to bring out the Para 3. Let me bring out another knife for a size comparison. This is a Koenig Arius. Also a knife not really known to be tiny, so that is a thing. I will bring out a Shirogorov F3, also with some spectacular materials. And then last but not least, I'm going to bring out my Peter Rossetti Satori right here, just for fun. Actually, that won't be the last one. I'm also going to bring out the Omen, which is a design by Elijah, and so you can see some of the resemblance and a few of the lines there. But this one is released through We Knives and Fanatic Edge, so that's going to have a video of its own as well. So now that you see that this is absolutely a huge knife, let's take a look at what makes this gargantuan absolutely spectacular. So up front is this blade of what I believe is stainless Damascus. This is some incredible stuff. I'll need to ask Elijah exactly what the metal is. Maybe Rob knows exactly what it is. I spoke to both of them about this knife and kind of how it went and what they thought. And, both of them were talking about how they got to know each other, and they were hanging out at Blade, and they made a sort of an agreement that they were going to make a knife. And so Rob chose this out of Elijah's sort of design pool. He's got a catalog. He was mentioning that this was part of the Odyssey series, like I had any idea what he was talking about. Apparently he's got a series of different series of designs that all have a common theme. So this design seemed very popular. Rob picked it up first and created this. And, I was in love with the holes in the blade. It was so unique back then. Now, obviously, this is not a performance cutting machine. Like, this is not an everyday carry slicing paramilitary 2. Please don't misunderstand. This is obviously an art piece, but it is functional, and it has this beautiful Damascus. The edge is quite sharp. It comes down with a flat grind right here. Crazy top swedge with a very unique blade shape. What I really enjoy about the blade is that you can choke up on it like this. You can put your thumb on it like that. It's really, really nice in the hand. The holes on this one actually function quite nicely as a deployment mechanism. You can actually flick it with your middle finger if you're so inclined. So let's go ahead and talk about the deployment and the pivot here, and we'll move back. So the pivot here is a rather simple screw. Rob likes to have his Torx bit on the front and then the pretty part on the back, and that's totally cool. This has Zerk pivot collars. This is running on ball bearings on the inside. It looks like caged bearings on the inside, ceramic bearings. Action is incredible. It just drops closed, and the detent is strong, and it lets that huge blade just fly out of the handle. Just look at this. That blade is so wicked as it flies out of this crazy handle. It is just so satisfying. It's a very, very thick blade. I don't think I got those dimensions for you guys, so let's go ahead and check this out. The blade stock is coming in at 183 thousandths, and the overall handle thickness is coming in at 0.69, so almost 0.7 inches in overall width. So not only is it long, but this is a thick piece of knife right here. So the pivot and the detent are incredible. I absolutely love Rob's custom work when it comes to his actions. They are incredible. The same thing is true of my custom tech over there. The Talon I had was made by Frank Fisher, so it was a little bit different, but I can tell that it was set up for a very strong detent. Very, very nice. Let's go ahead and move back and talk about these handles that are absolutely crazy. Obviously, there's some beautiful 3-alloy mokume on here. I'm assuming this is the Chad Nichols stuff. I actually bought a chunk of this myself, if I'm thinking it's the same. It has a similar pattern, but I gave a chunk of this to Andre Thorburn, the South African knife maker over at Blade Show, and he's going to be making me one with bolsters and a backspacer. So you can see the 3-alloy mokume on here. Absolutely beautiful patina that's developed on here. It's going to be silver, copper, and bronze in there. The carbon fiber looks to be a marbled carbon fiber. I'm not sure if this is forged carbon fiber or marbled. It's got that marbled effect. Obviously, this big clip is done in matte zirconium to match the pivot collars, and the backspacer also done in zirconium. The titanium frames have been internally jeweled and then anodized a dark bronze color. Maybe you can see some of the jeweling there on both sides. It's a liner lock with a very thick liner. Honestly, this is, skirting that line of what is a frame lock, what is a liner lock. And the lockup is excellent. Very, very strong lockup. I'm not afraid of that going anywhere. Absolutely no blade play. The one thing that there is a problem on this knife, and it would be a simple fix in terms of a custom knife, but this belongs to Elijah, and it's not bothering him pretty much, is that the blade actually is striking the backspacer back here. And inside it says RJC, let me look at it over here, and then IBW, something like that. So I'm not sure what those markings mean. I know what the Robert James Carter or Rob Carter's name on there, but I don't know what the other ones are for. I'm going to have to ask these guys. I should have asked them. But that is the only defect that I see. It is hitting there, and that is sort of a functional problem. Obviously, the blade is touching it and striking it as it comes down. So, but it hasn't bothered Elijah enough. Obviously, this is really just an art piece, and as such, it is absolutely amazing. And it feels great in the hand. I think that the Eschaton is going to be the ultimate version of this, where it's production made and ergonomic and way nicer in a lot of ways. But this is my grail knife. This is so amazing that I've gotten to hold this. I feel very lucky. Thank you to Elijah. Thank you to Rob for making this knife. Really, really grateful to both of you guys to meet you and to hang out with you and to get to play with your knives. Well, go ahead and click like and subscribe to my channel. Check out all of our stuff on here and on Instagram. And as always, guys, this is Dr. Frunky saying take care.